Notice of time, date, and place has been furnished to Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News. Notice has also been posted on the bulletin board of the administration building. Clerk, now to take the roll.
Mayor Giordano.
Here.
Mr. Bjork.
Here.
Mrs. Delvecchia.
Here.
Mrs. McNamara.
Here.
Mr. Orbitz.
Here.
Mr. Schatz.
Here.
Mr. Shalera.
Here.
Everyone kindly rise for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for prayer. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We thank you for everyone gathered here now. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we ask that you would come by your Holy Spirit and inspire our hearts today. Come fill our lives with your love, fill our conversations with your grace and truth, fill this meeting with your presence. We ask this for your glory and praise. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have a report of committees. Under my report, just a couple of items. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who took part in our Centennial Family Day on Saturday. I think we had a good turnout. Had a little bit of drama on Friday, but that was solved. And Saturday went off to be a very good day. It was good to see a lot of young kids, children in the community in the park. It was great to see people with dogs walking through the park. I think everybody had a good time, and if you didn't have a good time, well, we tried whatever we could do. Also, the next day, we had myself and a couple of the council members went to the Pistol Rangers event that was also down at the Borough Park. The park was perfectly clean, thanks to Pete and Angelo, who were on call that weekend, that day, or 2 days. They did a great job about all that stuff. Also, tomorrow is 9/11, so if everyone, wherever they are tomorrow, could just take a moment and just, a moment of silence, just pray and remember those whose lives were lost and also those who sacrificed to make a difference in our country. And that's all I have to report. Financial Administrative Committee, Mr. Shalera.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week we talked about stormwater management training that's being recommended by the Joint Insurance Fund for the Mayor and Council, members of our board. So just want to remind everybody, if you haven't done that yet, it takes about 40-45 minutes to go through it, and then you can certify that you completed it and make sure you get that paperwork to Kelly. I think there was a deadline of the next Friday. So if you need that link again, let us know and we'll get that for you. But it was very informative. I learned a lot. I think a lot of what they're proposing doesn't apply to us because we don't have a lot of large developments coming in. But it really is good information for us to be made aware of and could be really helpful in the future. I'm going to echo what the mayor said. Also, the weather was just fabulous all weekend for everything going on in town. So Saturday morning, we had opening day of soccer. And, the weather couldn't have been nicer for that. And they did a really nice job, not only with the ceremony and recognizing the coaches and the players and the teams. They also, because it's September and so near September 11th, they had a flag ceremony, which was very nicely done. A young lady singing the national anthem. They had bagpipers playing. Just a really nice event. A number of teams missing from the event because they had games that morning. So the season's off to a quick start. And as the mayor said, followed by Waldwick Day. I was giving out the fall and winter updates at the town's table, along with others who were selling T-shirts and giving away information regarding some other programs in the community. But people seem to appreciate the update. Immediately everyone recognized what it is. They know what a useful tool it is. So it was a really nice thing to be able to put out there. And then, as the mayor said, on Sunday, had the Rifle and Pistol Club picnic. Saw quite a few of you there. So always nice to attend that event. And again, the weather cooperated nicely. As the mayor said, I marveled when we walked in the park Sunday morning what great shape it was in. It looked like there had been no one there the day before when there were quite a few people there the day before, and the park looked great. Next week, have a meeting of the monthly library board and the monthly meeting of the Bergen Joint Insurance Fund, and I'll report back after that. Tomorrow is, as the mayor said, the 9/11 ceremony, you know, again, we had 2 events this year, just as a reminder, in front of Fire Company Number 2 at 8:30. We have the morning ceremony, and then the Girl Scouts in Borough Park at 6:45. So hope we'll see everyone there. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Fire and Police Protection Committee, Mr. Waldwick.
Thank you, Mayor. School is open. Crossing guards are in place at all of our important intersections to keep our kids safe. And our police are monitoring some of these intersections because some of them are really extremely busy, like the one we just added at Hopper and West Prospect Street. So please be vigilant and watch for our crossing guards' directions. And there's also a problem with a number of paving jobs that are going on in the area too. And that adds to congestion. So people are impatient to get from point A to point B, and that causes us sometimes to be a little negligent, you know, what we're doing behind the wheel. So please be vigilant. With the fire department, at last night's fire department meeting, Second Lieutenant Danny Miller was promoted to First Lieutenant. Danny is a knowledgeable firefighter with great leadership abilities. He's also a member of the Saddle River Fire Department, where he served as chief of the department. So we congratulate Danny. Our members will be attending the New Jersey State Firemen's Association convention in Wildwood this weekend. A task force has been assembled consisting of units from Waldwick, Saddle River, and Hohokus that will be responding to fire emergencies in all 3 towns. And the coverage will be from Thursday night till Sunday afternoon when our members return. And that's all I have.
Just on one note, I spoke with the chief last night. The truck is going to start to be built in December of this year. So what I did was I did reach out to him and asked him to call you to see maybe he could come here with the plans and show the council what, you know, what
I
we
was
approved.
speaking about that. That would be
I told him, you know, his term is coming up, so I figured we'd get him in here before.
Sure. Yeah, his term ends at the end.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Mrs. McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to also echo the same thanks for everyone who showed up on Saturday. I was serving popcorn, and the kettle corn was a big, big hit with everyone. As they mentioned, the 9/11 ceremony is tomorrow. If everybody, even if you can't make it, can take a moment of silence at some point tomorrow. And I wanted to also say congratulations to some of our varsity high school sports who kicked off their fall seasons. The football team won their game opener against Glen Rock last Friday, and the girls soccer team is off to a 2-0 start. Boys soccer is, if you may have read in the local paper, is named as one of the top 10 teams in Bergen County. So our athletics programs are doing wonderfully, and we're really proud of our kids. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Recreation and Health Committee, Mrs. Delvecchio.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry I had to attend what I heard was a great event in town on Saturday. I'm glad to hear good reports about it, and I just wished I could have been there, but I had a personal obligation that I could not avoid. So, that said, we are getting back into the swing of things in town, being back in the new, not the new year, but the new school year, which means we're back to business 3 times a month here at the council and the mayor. This coming week, we have a concert at the Oval at 7 p.m., which is Wednesday night, and that band is Don't Call Me Francis. They, I think, were a 3rd band of the season last year, and they were just absolutely amazing. Love them. We also have, yeah, that's the 18th. And the Chamber of Commerce also has a meeting, a PM meeting, which isn't normal, that same night at 6:15. So I'll be going to that meeting prior to running over to the concert. I believe it's at Class 101, is that right? Class 101, thanks Dan. And then on Thursday, the 19th, there's a Board of Health meeting at 7:30. I also just wanted to make notice of something that Kelly had sent out to all of us, thanks Kel, about mental health first aid training that's being provided by Bergen County Department of Health Services. And I'm pretty sure that this is the same course that we offered a couple of years ago when we started our stigma-free mental health program in town. We did it, it's an 8-hour course, and it's mental health first aid. We did it over a couple of nights and 4-hour shifts, but the county is organizing to have them in like long one-day stints. So if anybody is interested in learning more about this, it's on our website.
It will be on our website, and
It
it
will
will
be.
go out on the Friday blast and Facebook.
There you go. And, or, I'm pretty sure that our Board of Health will have, that website, Northwest Bergen Regional Health Commission will have this up on their site as well. Or you can ask me about it, and I have a flyer I can forward to you by email. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, Mr. Bjork.
Thank you, Mayor. As Joe mentioned, we're underway with our paving program in town, and the DPW typically kind of assists, oversees, observes, whatever you want to call it, that process. I believe they're done with Moore Avenue, Brookview Court. They're on their way over to South Dow and et cetera. We have Waldwick, Cameron, and Chestnut, I believe. And they're actually, the subcontractor's doing the milling and following up immediately with the asphalt topping paving, which I guess is a little different procedure than we've used in the past, where they pretty much mill everything and come back. So it's keeping the DPW busy on that. As the mayor said, we had the big celebration on Saturday. DPW was busy getting cleaned up after that event, ready for the Pistol Club event, and getting the comfort station taken care of. We're also set up for next, I didn't even tell you this, Patrick, yet, but I spoke with Mike. We're set up to do some augering for the potential foundations for the light poles at the Oval, tentatively Tuesday. I guess Mike got a hold of a 16-inch auger, and I'll be talking to Ed Sherman to get him down there to meet Mike. They're doing their grass pickups, they're still doing sweepings, emptying garbages, and I don't know, Nicole, if you sent those photos, but I understand they did repair some lumber down at the Lions Club playground thing.
Yeah, I had sent the photos off to Patrick, and he said that they would be taking care of it before Saturday's event.
It's funny, because I went there and I'm like, I don't see anything wrong, and I found out they already did it, I guess,
Yes.
so I couldn't figure it out.
Yes.
I was looking around because I was down there.
Thank you
Okay.
to them.
Patrick, Kelly, and I went down
Yeah,
there.
great, all right, so that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you very much. Building and Grounds Committee, Mr. Chaps.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to say that September 4th, I attended the planning board meeting. We had 3 applications, a site plan tenant review, a minor subdivision, and a major soil moving permit. We'll be going through those throughout the next meeting, I believe, at our work session at the end of September. I also want to state that the Board of Ed meeting is on the 16th. I'll be attending that. And next, I also attended the soccer startup day, and it was a great day. There's not only weather, but they had a great program set up with the mayor and Councilman Scalero. I also want to thank the committee for setting up the great Saturday that we had. It turned out to be a very, very big success. I especially want to thank the committee members that are here, which is our clerk Kelly and Mayor Giordano for setting up a great time and all. I was just exhausted after it. We get over 500 hot dogs. And we cooked them, Kelly and I cooked them all. I don't think I would have seen another hot dog for a long time. I think I ate too many of them. It really was a lot of fun. And then Sunday we attended the gun club also. And once again, that was a good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Consent resolutions and resolutions of the governing body.
Be resolved that the following resolutions herewith listed by consent, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Waldwick, are hereby passed and approved. 2019-252, approval of consent. 2019-253, approval of minutes, regular meeting and closed session meeting, August 27, 2019. Policy votes. 1. Jamie Stanton requests to hold a block party on September 28th from 4 to 9 p.m. on Waldwick Avenue between Center and Central with alcoholic beverages being served. Number 2, Village School requests the use of municipal pool parking lot for staff parking on various dates. 3, the Waldwick Education Foundation requests to hold a townwide garage sale on October 19th and 20th and that the garage sale fee be waived and banners be hung in various locations. That's an amendment to what is printed in the agenda. Number 4, Rachel Bonazzi requests the use of Pavilion B on September 11th from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. for a birthday party. Number 5, Armin Balajian requests the use of Pavilion B on September 15th from 10 a.m. to just for a birthday party. Number 6, Leanne Stolley requests the use of Pavilion A on September 28th from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for a birthday party with alcoholic beverages being served. Number 7, Maedis Lamfranchi requests the use of Pavilion A on October 13th from 11:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a birthday party. Number 8, Debbie Burke requests the use of the Ambulance Corps building on September 18th, October 16th, November 20th, and December 18th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. for Girl Scout meetings. Number 9, Jamie Hendrickson requests the use of the Ambulance Corps room on September 22nd from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for Girl Scout meeting. Number 10, Tammy Moses requests the use of the Ambulance Corps room on October 1st from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. for Special Olympics coaches meeting. 2019-254 is the payment of vouchers. 2019-255 is tax overpayment for Block 135, Lot 7. 201956, approval of the corrective action plan. 2019-257, approval of sump pump connection at 32 Hickory Road. 2019-258, authorized waiver of permit fees to the Waldwick Board of Education for the installation of hot water heaters at Trapphagen School, for the Trapphagen School project. 2019-259, authorization to execute agreement with Sprint Spectrum LP for a telecommunications tower at Wyckoff Ave. 2019-260, Environmental Committee appointments. 2019-261, appointment of permanent part-time per diem telecommunications operator Christopher Finn. And 2019-262, resolution for the Borough of Waldwick to support and participate in the volunteer tuition credit program, PL 1998, Chapter 145.
Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Mr. Vecchia, second by Mr. Schatz. On the question. Go ahead, Mr. Schreiber.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to address 2019-256, the corrective action plan. Last month, we received the final audit from our auditor for 2018, and there were some recommendations that they were making that we would be addressing. And what we had said at the time was that our CFO, Colleen Nennis, would be presenting a corrective action plan. The council is to review it and to formally adopt it as our corrective action plan for the 2018 audit. So in here, there's a number of items that are already in progress. Some that have already been addressed, and others, there's a plan to address them in the next month or so. So this is what we've been waiting for. It looks like Colleen did a nice job. We've addressed everything the auditors raised, and I think it looks like we're in pretty good shape to close out that audit.
Anyone else? Yes.
I just wanted to comment on the resolution for the Borough of Waldwick to support and participate in the volunteer tuition credit program. It's a benefit for fire department volunteers and Waldwick volunteers. The state allows a volunteer with 1 year of service and commits to another 4 years of service to receive a $600 per year tuition credit at a county college or a county vocational school or a county technical institute, and that credit can be extended to their spouses or children. So I think the program is a fantastic idea. It's at no cost to the borough, and I'm just thrilled that you brought it to our attention. Thank you, Patrick. Also, just a question on the change, Kelly, on Waldwick Education Foundation. Is the change that we just can't displace, nobody can display signs? Is that what it?
In the public right away.
Okay. But they can on private properties?
Correct.
Okay. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Yes.
Minor correction on the trap hanging work, water heaters. There's no need to heat hot water. I have to say that in contract.
Got it.
What I should.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Would the clerk kindly take the roll?
Mr. Bjork?
Yes.
Mrs. Dellavecchia?
Yes.
Mrs. McNamara?
Yes.
Mr. Orbitz?
Yes.
Mr. Schatz?
Yes.
Mr. Shalero?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any report of department head?
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I should have recused myself on approval of minutes from the August 27th meeting. I was absent.
She'll change it.
Thank you.
Do we have any report of department head?
I do not.
Okay. Introduction of ordinances. Will the clerk read ordinance number 2019-23 by title?
Ordinance number 2019-23, an ordinance amending Chapter 91 entitled Vehicles and Traffic to amend Section 91-12B, parking time limited, to include 15-minute parking spaces on East Prospect Street.
A motion and second is in order to move and pass the ordinance on first reading and that it be advertised in local legal newspapers as required by law, setting a public hearing 2 weeks from tonight's meeting at 7:30 p.m. or soon thereafter as the matter may be reached. I have a motion and a second. One is Rebecca, second by Ms. Orbitz. On the question, what this is we introduced this a couple of weeks ago. And what happened was we didn't advertise it because when we discussed it, we were changing the hours and the time or the day in which we were going to do this. So what the council did at their work session was they decided that this ordinance would be affecting the stores across the road over here. And it's going to be from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., 7 days a week. And there'll be about 7 signs put up. The businesses all came to us and told us this is what they'd like. And as we discussed at the last meeting, we would make it to these hours to accommodate the merchants. Anyone else? Clerk, kindly take the roll.
Mr. Bjork?
Yes.
Mrs. Dellavecchia?
Yes.
Mrs. McNamara?
Yes.
Mr. Orbitz?
Yes.
Mr. Schatz?
Yes.
Mr. Shalero?
Yes.
Okay. Any unfinished business anyone has? New business on the council, anyone? Okay, are we going to close it all? No, no close. Okay. At this time, we have public comment. Anybody from the public would like to comment on this ordinance, on anything that we discussed here or anything else? Please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. If you don't want us to put your name there, say your name, we'll give you a piece of paper and you can put it on there. Yes, sir.
Sorry, just write the date on the top of the I'm sorry.
Sure.
Al Golden, Meditate Place. I noticed something tonight. It was really something, something nice has to happen every once in a while here. Now, I've been keeping records, and this is the first time this year that every council member has a suit and a tie on.
Well, we don't do it in the summertime.
Including Matt, including the mayor.
During the summertime, we become casual, but now that the winter is here again, or it's coming, we
I
become-
checked last winter too. There's always one or two. There's always one or two. Is this some kind of a new ordinance you made or something?
See, we have a shirt and ties on, we don't have pants.
Well, I just want to commend you, son. Looking good.
We have a dress code tonight.
Thank you very much, Al. Anyone else?
Ray Cruz, 15 Cypress. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for a great event on Saturday. My family and I, we enjoyed it thoroughly, so congratulations to the committee who put this together. You guys did an amazing job. I just had a question on a high level in relation to the agreement with the Sprint Spectrum contract. I know what was in the meetings before when this was all going on, but is it for the upgrades of a tower that's existing, or is it a new tower? What's going on? Is it going to be like a 5G upgrade, or what's going on there? Just at a high level, I'm not looking for technical details.
No, what it is, the tower's obviously older, so whenever there's changes made to the tower, upgrading antennas or anything, Sprint's gonna it's a management agreement, so they're gonna review to make sure what's being done is structurally sound, so that there's no potential for the tower to fall.
So it's an infrastructure change.
It's a tower management agreement.
Got it.
That's-
Got it. So there's no like order to put in 5G
No.
cells or anything like that? Great. And your telecommunications operator, was this budgeted at the beginning of the year? I commend you guys for making this effort. I think it's great, but just want to make sure we have money for it.
Yeah, we have the money for it. So the amount of hours worked by telecommunications operators as a whole doesn't change. This is a part-time person who will fill in when our full-time operators are unavailable.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I am here to bring up something I brought up probably about a year ago. But first, I want to say what a great day Saturday was. I had so much fun, and I met the cutest little baby ever. But it was really such a wonderful day to see so many kids out running around, playing old-fashioned games on the lawn, and just seeing friends and neighbors I haven't seen in a long time. It was really a lovely day, and I thank the borough for putting it on. It really was nice. All right, so back to what I brought up a year ago. I'm wondering if the mayor and council would reconsider planting wildflowers in the town. The reason I asked, I drove down the parkway the other day, and I noticed all the wildflowers in the center medians, and it was absolutely breathtaking. I know First Lady and Lady Bird Johnson started this initiative, and it's nice to see the parkway really taking off on it. And I personally would like the council to reconsider perhaps I drove through the town the next day, finding places where we could do the same. And the parts that came to mind were the clover leaves. There's several, there's so much greenery over there. We could just throw down wildflowers and it would be beautiful. Along Hopper Avenue, I noticed by the covered tennis, the indoor tennis facility, there's a little stretch of grass there. Maybe they could throw them down or we could. It would be beautiful. Because my thing was to break up all the concrete and the macadam. So I was also looking along the center strip through town where all the stores are. There isn't really dirt areas, but I was admiring where Andrea's is. They did such a beautiful garden there. And then where the art studio is, the next that building, they have beautiful planters outside. And of course, all the borough property is so beautifully maintained. So I was thinking we could even throw some big planters throughout the town, and I picked out some areas for that as well. I even thought of the bridges in town, like on Wyckoff Avenue, we have the long bridges, they call them the high bridge or the low bridge, I have no idea. But we could even do like window boxes sort of thing there, and have hanging flowers go down. I think if Waldwick could be known as the flower town, it would really be pretty. And, oh, one other thing, perhaps like we could ask businesses, I know a lot of businesses did those little planters that they purchased from Rossler's nursery, but I'm thinking if we could ask them to jump on board, maybe they could plant bigger ones and kind of find dirt to plant flowers. And also if the council would consider bulbs in the fall. I know the watering thing's gonna be an issue, especially the window boxes, but you see other bigger towns that start with an R, that I don't want to name. They have these like little golf carts that have watering tanks on the back. Maybe we could get something like that and get a committee together, or devote one DPW guy or a flower committee or a gardening club, and we could go around and water them. So that's my only.
Terry and I talked about this the other day. I told Terry about something else, and she said to me, no, I talked about something about a year or something ago, and I told her, please come to the meeting and discuss it. While she was talking to me, I was on the Golden State Parkway at the exit 153. I looked to my right, and there is this hill full of all the flowers we're talking about, and it really looked nice. I did come back that day, and I spoke to Patrick, and I said to Patrick, what you thought about it, and I said, you were going to come to the meeting and talk to us. So Patrick and I talked a little bit, and it's like mats you put down. And we're gonna look into it. And, we're gonna come up with some ideas about what could be done to beautify the community. And, we'll get back to the council on this with a little work session. But since you're very adamant about it, we're gonna pick your brain and you're gonna help us get this done, if you don't mind.
I'd be honored.
Okay?
Thank you.
Can I make another suggestion? Maybe
Yes.
the hanging baskets that are through town, maybe we can replace those with real flowers
Those
too
are
instead of.
those are not ours. Those are the,
Waldwick,
down the train station. It's theirs.
The
Those ones going down that way?
WCA?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's all their stuff.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
we could
I-
ask them to help us with that.
I thought we could tap into
Yeah.
the gentleman who runs that. I thought I wouldn't bring all that here.
You're looking at a gentleman from the chamber, so you can start with him.
Because I have other ideas too, but I don't want to waste them. Like,
Once we start once we get the ball rolling with this, Patrick will call you in, walls on buildings and grounds, so we'll all sit down with you, and whoever wants to do this could help us out.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you.
I just mentioned too, thanks Teresa, there is a beautification committee in town. We don't usually have anything formal going on, but it exists, and I'm on it. As a matter of fact, which is something that we don't really do anything with. So maybe it could be an adjunct to that.
Speak to Patrick about it, give him the names of the people in the organization to work on it.
Yeah, I could help out too. I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, maybe that's part of the environmental committee, looks into that too, so.
Get everybody.
Everyone's excited.
Turn it down, Barbara.
The Deaners.
Laura Litchell, One Smithfield Terrace. Maybe the high school would be able to partner with this as well, or an Eagle Scout, or the Girl Scouts.
They do that now.
Yeah.
We have,
maybe they can
we have
give
Girl
them all.
Scouts, we have Boy Scouts, what they do is, they do the front of this building,
Mhm.
they do the public safety building. They've been doing it for about 3 years now, and they love it.
And I'm
It's
sure,
good.
I'm sure
They'll
this
help.
could
Oh, yeah.
add, yeah.
We'll reach out to them too.
Just a quick, can anyone give me an update on the police communication system? I haven't heard in a couple weeks.
Yeah. We had a meeting last week with all the department heads. There are a couple follow-up items that need to be finalized before we can move on to the next phase. So the fire department is looking into if they're able to go off only mobile UHF, which is somewhat technical, but it would be a benefit to the fire department, so they're looking into that. The police department has some questions as well that need to be answered before we move to the next phase. It was a good meeting. We were here in Borough Hall for about 2 hours with all the fire department, police department, DPW, water department, and Waldwick personnel.
So do we have a vendor selected and everything, and they're getting ready to spec out? Is the project completely spec'd out, or are we still in fact finding?
It's not fact-finding, we're just before we spec out the project. We haven't selected a vendor. We wouldn't be able to select a vendor, we would have to go out to bid for this,
Right.
and we would work to the...
And we haven't gone out to bid yet for it?
No, as soon as the police department and the fire department answer the questions that have come out of our meeting last week, they'll report back to VCOM, the vendor that we're using to do this analysis. They'll incorporate that into the next phase, which will be the speccing out for the bid. They also have to do, there's will likely be another 2B phase that we'll bring to the council. As part of this analysis, they discovered that the very high frequency channels that we use aren't desirable for some communication. They want to move them to ultra high frequency. The issue with that is FCC regulations. The FCC is trying to move a lot of commercial television channels into that as well. So they have difficulty finding frequencies even for emergency responders to use. So VCOM has recommended to the borough, and it's something that will happen before the council hopefully in the next few weeks, to award them a contract to do a search for very high frequency channels. And that would take weeks, as wild as that sounds, to find those channels. They'd have to reach out to other agencies that already license the channels, but maybe far enough away where they don't interfere, but close enough where we can use them, and enter into agreements with those communities to use portions of their channel. So it's very technical, but it's moving along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so this item, which was budgeted in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
we're almost close with 2019. Are you anticipating any further costs associated with the original budget, or is it the budget that stands?
What was awarded in 2018 hasn't changed. So the money that was allocated in 2018 remains for the 3 phases that were awarded by council. VCOM and VCOM's vendor has proposed that they add in this additional contract amount just to explore the ultra-high frequency channels. And if that at this point is recommended by the police department and the fire department, if the council also places importance on that, they can pass a resolution awarding them another portion of the contract.
So will that be in 2019 or budgeted in 2020 by the time this project gets underway?
It would be in 2019, and this isn't current fund money, so this is capital money. We're a little more flexible in how we're able to spend that. It doesn't follow a standard budget.
And any idea of how long it's going to take before it goes out to bid?
I don't have any exact, but if, I would imagine we would be out to bid in 2 months, maybe 2.5 months.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, at this time, then we have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Deb, second by Paul. All those in favor? Good night, everyone.